Hello guys, welcome back to Zach Animate Studios, your channel #1 for animation and Laravel web development, that is graphic design web development. And right about now we are continuing with our Laravel application guys. So guys, it has been a minute. We were working on our Laravel project. We wanted to have a very good look and feel of a prior. We call it PR. That guy, that name, it's this name. This guy has this look and feel, guys. We are taking this look and feel into our Laravel. And the last time we had just set up our roles and permissions using Laratrust, okay? Laratrust Signaco. So guys, it has been a minute and my friends are really requesting that we continue to ensure that this project is working. So I'm going to hack out this thing in another amazing way. So guys, there is this tool called the debugger tool. You just hit F12, okay? F12, you're going to see your codes the way they are in terms of the elements and all other stuff. So we are just going to go back to our card, our valley theme, and then we are going to set it at F12. So guys, we are going to see our project like this. So I told you in web development copying is allowed, provided you use it to the right usage. Okay, so this is our code, this is our dashboard, this is our design, and there are things that we need to put it into place. So let's do this. This is the dashboard, this is the look and feel it should look like, and let's just log into our Laravel. So this is another project, but I'm just going to open that project that we had in mind. It was called the tutorial app. Okay, so this is the tutorial app. Okay, this is the so ensure your server is running. Your server is running XAMPP. Hit on that one, in that one, that is Apache and MySQL, and then you get it to PHP artisan serve, and then you can also run npm run dev. Okay, that is to compile the JavaScripts at the same time. So on the filing structure, we have the layout, app, guest, navigation, just like that. Okay, so what we're going to do, we are going to create an include file here, okay, on the body side. Okay, so we are going to look at the design for the other side and this other side. So I'm just going to have a new include here. I'm going to copy paste these two, just going to have two new includes here inside this body. Okay, inside there I'm going to put two new includes inside the navigation, but now there I'm going to change the name. We are going to have one, Control C. We are going to have one that is on the layouts. We can have we can have a layout, and then we're going to call layouts.header. You can just change that to header. Layouts admin dot header, and then layout admins dot sidebar. Control C. So these two things, I'm just going to add them there. Layouts admin dot header and layouts admin dot sidebar, sidebar. Okay, so when I do that, my codes in Laravel is going to just generate for me that view. You can see it is going to generate that. I'm going to help it generate that view right about now and immediately. Okay, so PHP artisan serve run dev has not yet started, and this one also has not yet started. I think my PC is hula balooing. So guys, Remember, subscribe to this YouTube channel. You are the best, guys. Road to 500 subscribers. Road to 500 subscribers. We want to make this the biggest channel in East and Central Africa, guys, where young guys can teach ourselves. By the way, if you have, if you think you can share with me anything, or you have an idea you want to share with us about programming, whether from any field, with Angular, React Native, and you are there in the world and you just want to share, you can reach out, guys. My link I'll give you on my email there, and then we can schedule a live tutorial together, guys, and your voice will be heard and you will be able to reach out and tell so many people, the people who have this passion, guys. So let's do it. So right about now, I wanted to have these two, the header. When I use my Laravel code, it's going to generate for me that thing. Is it there? If it's not there, it's going to generate right away the header, and then it is there. It is going to create. Okay, that is it. And then also we are going to create another one for sidebar. Okay, just going to create for us the way you configure your so you can see inside the layout we have now the head and the sidebar. I'm going to use somebody's okay, now this is where we are going to bring in the codes, right? So with this I'm just going to hit on elements, just like that, and then I'm going to take the header. Well, just copy the header from this side, copy header. Okay, let me just first change this thing to responsive, and then so that it doesn't copy anything out of the ordinary. Now this is the header, copy element. So here we can just do like copy element, copy element. It's going to copy all the element of the header, and then I'm just going to paste it inside the header. Then I'm going just to paste it there, and then the sidebar, the sidebar. I'm also going to do the same thing. I'm going to just take the sidebar. Inside here, I'm going to also to look at the sidebar. Okay, the sidebar. You can select that and also pick just like that. This is the sidebar. The sidebar. You can see the sidebar menu start from there. So from there. So I'm going just to copy everything on copy element, then copy that, and then I'm going to add it there on the sidebar. So we have our design there right about now. It is everything. I think it's okay. Is it complete? Sorry, Control Z. I think it has not copied the entire element. Let's go back. Copy sidebar, header, side menu. Oh, so you need to copy sidebar, the entire sidebar. Okay. So another way I can also teach you guys, also this is just this is my way. This design also has been there on the internet. Somebody has been using it. This is from Laravel, guys. You can also go back to Laravel, e-commerce. So what you're going to do, we're just going to use it to develop our own platform. So what you're going to do is go to Laravel series, and then you're going to take sidebar, and then also, so with that we're going now to set it up on when you log in, you have the header. Now we're going to log into our application. So you will see that the two links have been inserted into our page. That is Pazax. Okay, you create your own password. It's a strong password. As per now, this is just an application we are doing. We create that. Okay, either there's no user inside. So what we're going to do is you're going to register. Okay, so we're going to register user right about now. So Zakorengos, Pazax, and then password. Okay, the password did not confirm. You can see also the what we are having there is validation. If the password is not working, it is also it's not going to comply. So I have to have the same password. When you register, then it's going to comply. So we are being told there is a general error, there is field first name hasn't default value. I know what the problem is. Remember previously on this application we had inserted something on the database, okay, on the user table. This is the user table, this first name, last name, and ID number. So these things are not there at the moment. Let's just remove it, but we'll still work on it in the near future videos. Control save, and then I'm going just to take you through the process. Let's say this application has you don't want to save those that the database is not working, so you can do something called database drop. Database drop, you just do some PHP artisan db wipe. You're going to delete the tables inside that database. You have successfully deleted all the tables, and then again you can do PHP artisan migrate. Okay, it's going to recreate all those tables, and then after you have done the creation of tables, remember we had written db seed. You do the database migration, and then you do the database seeding. Seeding is now to add the roles and the permissions into the database before user has been generated. So PHP artisan db seed, it's called seeder. Yeah, it's called PHP artisan db seed class database. So you are seeding this this database. So basically this Laratrust seeder, this Laratrust seeder is it is being called so that it can be run. This Laratrust seeder has to be run inside. So all the seeders that you have, you can call them on your database seeder, so that when it just runs that one code, it's going to pick all those seeding information that you want, the personal information that you want to add into your database, and then you hit that. You can see Control Z, sorry. You can just now hit on seeding. You can see it's now adding the user roles and permissions to the tables that you have created. You can do this. You can add specific, let's say you are creating your own tables for either places, let's say like locations, Nairobi's. Let's say you have a table for a place, and you want to, when you are your table, you are generating your database, you want this information to be there, and then you use the process of creating a seeder, and then you insert information into those seeders, and then when you run your application, those information will exist. So after we have done that, we can also just do we can still just do again the registration, and then Zakorengo developer 101. I'm sorry, that is another thing. That is just a password. Okay, so you can have that password. As you can see now, there is now this look and feel, but now you can see we have the roles and permission. This information is from the header. So I told you can use this information from Laratrust. So what I'm going to do is just I'm going to take some information from now the header style. This information, the style I'm just going to add on my style. Control C. I'm going to Control P on the app folder. I'm going to add it here, just right there. And then at the same time, so what we do next is I had told you we had created the admin layout and then the sidebar layout. Okay, so this is the admin layout and the header and then the sidebar. Okay, we go back to our app folder, and then we need to add we need to add this HTML, the style sheet at the head, and also these scripts at the footer. Just where did you get this folder? So this folder is on public, and then you're going to create that folder into backend, and then inside the backend you're going now to get this design. You can find it on you can find it first in Laravel, whereby on this line, it is on this line where you're going to download it from this side, from here. You download it from that source, GitHub Laravel, and then inside the GitHub you're going to take Valley, and then inside that you're going to take the JavaScript and CSS. These JavaScript and CSS files, JavaScript and CSS, and then you're going now to put them inside. You download that the entire code, and then you're going to just take JavaScript font and JavaScript and CSS, and then after you do that, you can just now reload your page. You can reload your page, as you can see now. With the application now, right now you have the users, roles and permissions, and then you have a dashboard. Remember, we have not even touched the other side of Laravel. It still exists, the dashboard and everything. So at this point we can just now update now our navigation. So basically at this point here, at this setting, you can now start creating now your roles and permissions. So basically we can now do the permissions here. We can create a root called permissions. Okay, we can create now a root called permissions. Permissions. Okay, that could be a root for permissions. At the same time, you can create a root for users, just the same thing, root for users, Control C. At this point, users. So basically you want to have all the users in your application, right? Like you're doing the stock management of all the people coming to your applications, right? That is users. At the same time, we can create roles, and then there's also the one for roles. I don't want to go to another link, so I'm just going to remove the target blank referrer, just that one. I'm going to remove that, and then I'm just going to have now roles, root for roles. Okay, root for roles. Okay, roles. So as you can see, when I come and restart my page, I will have problems with my there is no role, the role for root permission defined. And then so what we're going to do, we are going to create a controller, PHP controller, PHP make controller roles. That is going to be for roles, and then at the same time we're going to permissions, capital P, permissions. Okay, so permission, I don't want me to permission. At the same time, users. Okay, user controller. So user controller. As you can see, these are 3 controllers I've created. You can see it already exists: user controller, permission controller, and that. So all what we need is just now to go back to our controllers, controller folders, permission. We're going to return view index. We can now, I had told you earlier, a root has a role, right? And then public function. Now we're going to add some classes. Public function index, like that. Public function index, return view, return view. Now this is going to be permission, permissions dot index. Okay, that is going to be a view, just like that, and then you can still create a view for it. So basically with the Laravel, I love Visual Studio Code is going to give you a very easy way to create folders. If you're in any way confused on how the folders appears in your application, it just creates for you. So we have done for permission. We need to go for users, Control P, user controller. Oh, by the way, to user controller. So user controller. We have a user controller. Okay. We need to have a user controller. PHP artisan make controller user controller. I think it is not user controller. So we need to make a controller user, either user or users controller. Yeah, basically now there user controller. Public function, still we're going just to add public function index return view view users dot index. Okay, so just something like that. That is returning users dot index, roles dot index, and then permission dot index. So permission is there, role dot index. Okay, public function index, public function index, just like that. You have now, we have created 3 controllers. Imagine we have done in less than 5 minutes. Return view, return view, that is roles. So basically I normally like to have roles dot index. So guys, that is roles dot index, just like that. And then I can create that roles dot index. Give it a second. So first thing first, so we have now those roles. We are going to duplicate the dashboard into the 3 columns that we have created. Control C. I want to take this one into roles, and then I'm going to give it at roles. I'm going to give it the name roles, so that the title for that is going to be roles. And then permissions, also that one, permissions. And then last but not least, which other controller? We had roles, permissions. Also, you can just follow if it's empty. Permissions controller, user controller, permissions controller, roles controller. Let's follow roles if it has anything. Role is there. User controller, the same time users controller. Also users controller. So we ensure that all this is there. Users controller. So users controller, and then you also add users controller, and then you give it the name users class. I'm sorry that it has taken all that 25 minutes, but right about now let's go and hit and reload our pages. Okay, as you reload the page, you can see that the permission is not defined. Okay, let's go and see. So this what this really means, now we go to our root. Okay, now this is where now we are going to define these navigations. Okay, so we have this one, we have this navigation. I want all these people to be authenticated so that they can log these pages. We can still go and add other roles and permissions before when somebody accesses these pages, but right now I just only want the people who are authenticated to access these pages. So what I'm going to do, under the middleware auth, I'm just going now to copy this, Control C. I'm going now to name those routes there. This one is permissions. Let's start with the first one, permissions. Sorry, permissions. Control. So you can see I normally code by adding errors to the project, so that when you clean one error, you are just done with that. Permissions, and then you can just change now this one to permission controller. Permission controller, and then this one is going to be index. You need to name. Now this is what we call the naming of index. You see, this class index is the same as the controller permission inside that you are calling, and then this other side is going to be named as permissions. When you reload that, at the same time we don't have roles. We're still going to do the same thing. In the next 2 minutes we'll be done, and we'll have a complete look and feel of a good website or our application. Control C. With that also we are going to have roles. This one is now it's going to become roles, and then this is going to be a role controller. Okay, role controller. Remember, you take the class that you are working with, okay, so that it can work, and then index, and then this is going to be roles, okay. That's it. And then you also have the last permission is called when you reload, you'll see you have now, when you go to, you have users, roles, and that is for permissions. Roles, and then also that is link for roles, and then at the same time link for permissions. So as you can see that you can still add other functions on your Laravel application. At this point now, it is so easy. You can add the logout functions on this. You can still add the logout functions on this link. So what you're just going to do is you go to your sidebar, and then you change. If you have a controller class called settings, you just create a class called settings. PHP make controller class settings. Let me say just settings. Maybe that is a setting controller, and then you do that setting controller, and then you're going to have a root there. Okay, that is going to be a root settings. Okay, like that, settings. Okay, and then if you have done now the root for setting, you also just go to control, you go to web app, Control P, web app, and then you go to settings. Now you create a root for setting, Control C, and then you do that. Just that's the same thing. Settings. Remember, there is a vibe on how you do your application. So if you do that, it just comes in, and then you'll see the flow. So just like that, settings, Control V. So and then at this controller place, you just do settings, setting controller, just like that. And then now the setting controller, it does not have a class index. You just go Control P, settings controller, setting controller, and then you add the function, public function index, return view. You can see there is the flow, return view index. Okay, just like that, return view index. Okay, now it is settings dot index. As you can see, there is a vibe there is a vibe as you do those things. You see, like now, right now, there is the vibe. Okay, that vibe just comes in. There is a flow. What I'm trying to say is there is a flow. When you hit on that settings, you can see it is going to take us to that, and then it's going to tell us there is no a setting controller like that. So what you're going to do is going to have that view, go back, and then it's going to give us I think it's taking time, but you can still do it manually. Go to settings, let's give it a setting, so that I don't know why, but okay, let's give it a setting, setting.index. So each controller goes to its own. So within the views, resources views, create a folder called setting, control V, setting, settings. Yeah, let's give it a settings, control Z, settings, and then create a index.blade.php, control C, new file. By the way, that is how it is done, .blade.php. Okay, so and then you can just now copy first the dashboard, control A. So the way to go about it, we have reached the 30th minute mark, and then so let's just ensure that our setting controller has a view, and then we say tomorrow is also a good day. Settings, and then reload. Wow, guys, now you can see that our application is really coming up along well. Also, you can still change the name from Joe front-end developer at that point. Let me just copy something. I told you copying is allowed. Go to your app layout. We call it the I think it's the navigation, right? Go to navigation, just copy this, copy, it is the header. Yeah, it is here. Where there is the name, okay, the profile, you can use this one, the auth, where there is the name, control C, and then just keep it auth user.name, and then just go and add it on your sidebar. It is on the sidebar, right? On the sidebar, and then remove John Doe, and then you add it there. You have your beautiful name there. You'll have your beautiful name there, Zach Orengo. You can still change this one to email address. You can still add that. So guys, we are going to look into either adding guys, there is so much more coming. We are going still to work on images, adding images here on your profile. Either you want to have a profile image there, we can still use, there are so many things yet to come, guys. If you have not subscribed, my friend, you are doing us a disservice, and you are disservicing us. So guys, I want you to be of service to us. Tell your friend to tell any other person that, guys, programming is made easy, and we Africans, we Kenyans, we people from the wholes of Africa, the East Africa community in Africa, guys, we are just as smart. This information is right in front of us, and the only thing we got to do is just to subscribe to this amazing channel and tell all your family, friends, or people who are interested in knowing how to program that we are here, and we are here to stay, and we are here to make this reality. So guys, we can still use, there's so many things we can still do. We can use we call this AI. We can still use AI to continue building this application. So the level of creativity just depends on you. So you can see we have the users, we have the roles and permissions ready. So in the next video, we want now to give functions to this user and roles and permissions for each and every page that we are having here on this application. And really, if we came from WordPress, from a Laravel page that was empty, and now we have this this page, guys, you have learned something, and remember to subscribe to this amazing YouTube channel. All day bro, guys. Thank you and thank you and thank you. Subscribe.